What's up, y'all? I'm going to give you the exact framework on how to become unstoppable in baseball and off the field. This is my very first video without using a script, so we're going off the top of the dome. The only way you're going to make it in this game is if you are emotionally unstoppable. As a man and as a player, you're going to be tested almost every single day. Though some tests are very small and others are massive. If you face each of these challenges with the 5 topics we're going to talk about today, you will master your emotional side and become unstoppable. The very first key component on becoming emotionally unstoppable is awareness. Are you aware? Fellas, awareness is a skill. The more you become aware in your life, the easier it'll be to attack problems. Awareness is the foundation of becoming unstoppable emotionally. Can you pick up on your internal patterns that lead to your external reality? Can you pick apart as to why you are nervous during your at-bats and why being nervous in your at-bats leads to your strikeout? You got to be able to analyze your beliefs and behaviors because your negative beliefs and behaviors are preventing you from becoming unstoppable. Because the only way to become unstoppable is to tap in to your positive beliefs. There's only one way to bridge this gap between the two. It is awareness. Now, becoming aware isn't so black and white. It takes time and it is a marathon, not a sprint. But there are some methods that you can do to become more aware. The first method is meditation. Sit in silence and become comfortable with your thoughts and anything that arises. Chances are you will become uneasy and anxious. Simply sitting alone may be difficult for you. Pick apart these reasons. Really dive deep into why you feel this way, and then understand how this can pop up with baseball. Remember, you're not a baseball player. You're a human being who plays the sport. Your problems within baseball arise within yourself as a human being, not the game. You have to tackle the root of these problems. Next, you can journal. I recommend journaling after meditating or before meditating. That way you can either reflect on your meditation or you can write down what you learned during your meditation. Next, what is your perspective? Again, what is your perspective in life? Your perspective in life ties into what your perspective is on the field. The more you live in reality and zoom out within your perspective, the better your outcomes will be. Fellas, you gotta understand that not everything you believe and think is reality. Human beings constantly lie to themselves to feel safe. A narrow perspective is the killer of many players' dreams. The question is, can you zoom out? Zooming out can look like a deep breath before your at-bat, anything that can get you grounded in reality, in the actual moment. Is it reality when your brain is telling you that you absolutely cannot succeed at this task? No. You see, you may be lying to yourself so your subconscious can keep you safe. Sometimes when we don't even realize it, we are more safe as we are lying to ourselves. That's because you built up a belief system for so many years that the only way you can feel safe is to remain in that belief system. And to remain in that belief system, you have to lie to yourself. It sounds crazy, but many of you watching this feel safer when you talk bad about yourself than positively. I was one of those people. I am a living testimony. Number 3, what do you deem worthy? Many people believe that worthiness comes from repeated action. In order to feel worthy, you have to prove to yourself that you are worthy. In order to believe that you can get a base hit, you have to do it 5 times in a row. Does that sound like you? When you get in the cage, do you not prove it to yourself until you do it a certain number of times in a row? You see, that is a flaw. The truth is, you are worthy as you are. There's nothing you have to do or prove to anybody to instill worthiness. The quicker you can grasp this fact, the less you start worrying about other people's opinions and the lies you tell yourself. Like I said, this is unscripted, so this is coming from my heart. But if you were created in God's image, aren't you worthy enough? Aren't you a human being put on this earth by God? What more do you need? What more are you asking for to be worthy? Like I said, man, this is a life problem. This is not a baseball problem. Go back to point number 2 and zoom out of your perspective. As a man, don't you deserve and aren't you worthy enough to feel good about yourself? All this convincing you have to do to yourself, is that really reality? You already have it all. You're there. It is truly inside of you if you seek it. The next thing that you have to ask yourself is, am I truly authentic or am I playing a performance? Now, what does this really mean? You have your authentic self and you have your performance-based self. The performance-based self is simply putting up an act. This is not the real you. It is fake, it is facetious, It is a mirage. This will never, ever, ever succeed in the long term. Fellas, it is a life problem. It is not a baseball problem. Trust me. You cannot go through your life performing for people or yourself. This goes so deep. Do you change yourself for other people? Do you hide your passions, what you enjoy, because other people may find it dumb, stupid, or cringe? If so, you are in a performance-based mode. You change for other people and you are not acting under an authentic sense of self. When you are authentic, there is no pressure to act. You simply be. There's no smoke and mirrors, there's no mask to put on. When you are yourself, there's a sense of ease. And guys, this ties into baseball, I promise. When you get in the box, are you in the box to perform for yourself or other people? Or do you have a sense of ease, a sense of authenticity? When you're here, it's very easy to go here. And when you're here, you succeed. Simply because it's impossible to not succeed. Is this making sense? When you're at ease with who you truly are, a strikeout and a home run lead to the same exact result. No change in the self. There's no confidence going up or down. You're simply you, and you're always you no matter what happens. The performance-based person feels as if they are a worse human being when they strike out. And when they hit the home run, they're goated. That is not the way to live, because this seeps into your livelihood. Like I said, it's a life problem, not a baseball problem. There is simply no outcome when you are authentic, when you are yourself, when you have the awareness and the identity built of who you truly are inside. There is no external value that exists. Build a solid foundation, I'm telling you. Either you can start to dive into this now, or you're going to learn the hard way as a man. Either way, you're gonna have this challenge, you're gonna learn the lesson. But how do I become the authentic self? The answer to that is reflection. The answer to that is awareness. The answer to that is knowing who you truly are. What are your inclinations? What do you gravitate toward? Here is the little known fact. The performance-based person is highly contagious, and so is the authentic person. However, more people operate under the performance-based ideology. What do I mean by that? Let me paint a little example here. You go to school, maybe we tie this back into baseball. You're in your dugout. You like to talk about Pokemon, right? Pokemon, cringe. So many kids enjoy Pokemon, but once you hit 13, 14, hell, maybe even 12 years old, you're not supposed to like Pokemon, bro. It's something that might be frowned upon within your friend group, maybe the people you're around, your teammates. And the second you bring it up one day, the first time you meet these people, you get shut down because they think it's cringe to like Pokemon. Okay, cool. From that day on, you are now in a performance-based mode. You can't bring up what you actually enjoy, and you tend to hide it around these people. Hell, maybe you even genuinely start not enjoying Pokemon just because they don't. But what you don't know is the kid that made fun of you low-key enjoys Pokemon. So does the other kid. Bro, Pokemon's fucking dope. Who doesn't like Pokemon? They're lying to themselves, which turns right on to you, creating more performance-based zombies. Guys, I beg you. I fucking beg you. Make the distinction between these two and choose the right path. This one is simply not worth it. I'm gonna wrap this up. My last question is, what frequency do you fall under? Frequency? What the hell are you talking about? This is a life problem. This is not a baseball problem. What is your consistent state of being? Are you a robot and do you run subconsciously? Or do you consciously choose the state of being you are? High frequency energy consists of joy, gratitude, while low frequency is sadness or anger. Now, that's not saying you can never experience sadness or anger. Just know when you are sad or angry, you are actively choosing to be one of those. When you are sad or angry, feel it. Understand why you feel that way. Then make the active change to upgrade your frequency levels. Every single day you wake up, try to get into a state of joy or gratitude. When you get up to the box, try to be joyful. Operate with gratitude. I'm telling you, man, this will help you so much. Your thought patterns will be better, your decision making will be much better, and guess what? Your results will be much better. Please take some time out of your day to digest these 5 pillars. I'm trying to help you guys out, man. This is the wisdom I wish I had when I played baseball in high school. This is a life problem. This is not a baseball problem. And if you don't give a shit, I don't either. I'm out of here.